All right. So we are looking at section 3.3. And 3.3 is talking about absolute value equations, nonlinear absolute value equations. If you remember, if you have something called x plus 3, absolute value equals 5, the way to solve this is to actually write two equations. One of them is x plus 3 equals 5, just like it says. The other one is a negative version of that. Negative x minus 3 equals 5. So you would just solve these. So this one would be, so you move the 3 over, it would be 2. And this one would be negative x equals 8. And then, of course, if it's negative, it's x equals negative 8. So that's how you solve a absolute value equation. Now, we're going to do this with polynomials using the same method. And let me just give you an example of that. So if we have the absolute value of x squared plus 2x in the absolute value equals 5x plus 10. Now, the way to solve this is do it the same way. Set up two different equations and solve for each. So the positive side would just be x squared plus 2x equals 5x plus 10. And the negative side would be negative x squared plus, minus 2x. See, the signs changed on the x squared and the 2x equals 5x plus 10. Now, all we have to do is solve for these and we'll have our answers. And notice it will give you 4 different answers because this x squared will give you 2 answers here and 2 answers here. So let's solve for this one. Let's just move the 5x and the plus 10 on the left-hand side. So as you know, to move the 5x, you got to make it a negative 5x. And to move the 10, it's got to be a negative 10. So we'll rewrite this as x squared plus 2x minus 5x minus 10 equals 0. And this side, since I don't want this x squared to be negative, let's make it positive. And by doing that, we can do plus x squared to move it on the other side, and also the 2x. So to do that, we will rewrite this as 0 equals x squared plus 2x plus 5x plus 10. Now, let's combine like terms. So this one would be x squared plus 2 minus 5. Actually, that wouldn't be plus, would it? That would be minus 3x minus 10 equals 0. And this one, we'll just take this 0 and move him on the right-hand side in the standard form. And this is perfectly legal. You can move this equal sign on that side, and it doesn't matter which side you put it on. X squared plus 7, x plus 10 equals 0. Now let's solve for both. Let's use what we've learned in the last chapter to solve these instead of trying to hack at them. Let's try 1. We know we have a 10 here. Okay, well, you know what, you guys, so you say you have a constant here, and we know the factors of 10 is 1 plus or minus, and plus or minus 2, and then plus or minus 5, and then plus or minus 10. It's going to be the same for this one over here too. So let's try 1. And we have 1, -3, and -10. Drop our 1. 1 times 1 is 1. And this is going to be -2. And I can already tell you 1 times 2 is not 10. So that's not going to work. Let's try 2. 1, -3, -10. Now, you're saying, well, why didn't you use -1? Well, I know that a -1 is not going to get you near 10 from what the last equation we just did. So I'm just jumping up to 2 to see what it does. And 2 times 1 is 2, -3, and that's -1. And I know 2 times 1 is not 10. So that's not going to work. What about -2? So this is a 1, a -3, and a -10. So -2 times 1 is -2. That equals -5. And 2 times 5 is 10. Because this is a negative and this is a negative. That makes a positive 10. That makes a 0. That's one of our answers is -2. So that -2 can be written as x plus 2. And then if we look at what we have here, the x coefficient is just 1. And then the constant is -5. So we've solved this. Let's look at this one. Now I know since these two are just negatives of each other and 2 worked, I'm sorry, -2 worked, I'm just going to use it over here. And this is 1, 7, and 10. 1 here, -2 is -2 here. This doesn't seem to be working. Oh, wait, my math is wrong. So 7 minus 2 is actually 5. And 2 times 5 is -10 because there's a negative on this 2. That gives us 0. So that one worked also. And this would be x plus 2. And then the coefficient of x is 1, and then plus 5. The answers are similar, but they have different signs on the leading edge here. So our answers are x equals -2, x equals 5, x equals -2, and x equals -5. Okay, that's pretty much it. That's all you need to know for this chapter. I'm going to give you your homework. So let's look at practice 3.3 on page 138. I want you to do 1 through 11 teal. Okay. Yep, 1 through 11 teal. This is your homework. And the end of the lesson. Thank you.